Hello guys, you are welcome. I'm so excited to have you join me for this latest tutorial on how to make this beautiful palazzo trouser with elastic waistband and side pockets. So don't stress it because in this video I will walk you through all the process. If you are new here, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. That way you will stay updated on new videos. And to all my returning viewers, welcome back. Your support means the world to me. So now let's dive into it together. The amount of fabric I use for this tutorial is 2 yards, and these are the measurements you'll be needing. The first thing is to know the amount of fabric to fold. Just divide your hips measurement by 4 and add 3 inches for the crush curve. The second trick is how to measure your crush length, which is the main thing in trouser. If you miss it, you miss out. So to do that, you sit on a flat surface and measure the distance from your waistline down to touch that flat surface. In this video, the crush length is 10 inches plus half an inch for the seam allowance, that's 10.5. Then again, we are adding 2 inches band to the trouser. That means you will need to minus that 2 inches from your measurement. The 10.5 is what I have underlined here. Next is the hip circumference plus 1 inch for ease, then divided by 4. That will give us 10.5. I'll mark it here and also mark it on the waistline, and then connect it with a vertical line like this. To get the crush curve extension, I divided the hip circumference measurement into 12, then minus 0.25, that's 3 inches for my crush curve. Then I can use my curve ruler to create the curve. The palazzo length is 40 inches plus half an inch for the waist joining, that is 40.5. and then 2 inches for the hem allowance. I will mark the same measurements in this side and connect with a straight ruler. On the waistline, I will come in by half an inch and connect from here up just to give you some shape. The next thing is to determine how wide my trouser leg will be. So in this case, I'm going to make it 12 inches. So this is like 13 inches. In between these 13 inches, I'm going to get the center points and then centralize the 12 there. So this is 6 in the middle, this is 1, and that's the 12. The next step is to connect this with my curve ruler from my crush area. Then I'll use my straight ruler to complete the remaining one. So that's it for this, and I'll do the same thing for this other side. I'm slightly extending this hem so that I won't be short of fabric. The next thing is to move my material slightly out so that I can have some allowance for the sewing. I'm just moving it out slightly by half an inch. Okay, so I'm going to cut out now. So this is it for the front pieces. Now let's cut the back one. So I will start by folding the fabric in half so I can have 2 layers of fabric. So I will also place the front pieces of the pattern on top of the folded fabric, just like this. Then another trick is to ensure that the front hem and the back hem are aligned and matching properly. Then making sure that there's enough fabric at the top to accommodate any extension and also the seam allowance. The next step is to start by measuring half an inch down from this crush curve. So you mark it here on your fabric. Now from this mark point, measure 2.5 inches forward. This will represent the back rush extension. Now from this waistline, measure 2.5 inches inward. Make a mark. Now from the inward mark you just made, measure 2.5 inches upward and make another mark. The distance from here to this place is 10 inches. I will measure the same to correspond with the waistline here too. Then I will draw a straight line to connect the points. From here, I'll rule my crotch slant. Then I can create a curve to meet the crotch extension line I've already marked here. Now this extension helps adjust the fit at the back of the pants for better comfort. Now the next thing to do is to trace the length of the trouser. So I'm going to be using my curve ruler for starting from the crotch line. Then I'll use my straight ruler to finish the remaining one. So I'll just come down here with a straight ruler, okay? And that is it. I'll do the same thing to the other side. Now for this side, I will carry the front fabric and match it to this waistline mark, this extension. So make sure that you align it properly so that there won't be any mistake. So if you notice, I'm cutting it directly. All the allowance for the sewing is already added to the front pattern. So I'll just cut straight, except for the center back, which I added half an inch for the seam allowance. So the next thing to do is to cut the band. For the band, I'm using the exact hip measurement, which is 42 inches plus 1 inch sewing allowance. That will make it 43, while the width is 2 inches. So I'm going to measure 5 inches here. By the time I fold it, I have 2.5. Then I can use half of it as the seam allowance. And that's it. It's that simple if you carefully follow through with this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And then the next one is the pocket. So I'm going to cut fabric that is 10 inches long and 8 inches wide. So I'm using the front pattern now, and I'll cut 4 pieces for that. So I'm going to place it behind my front fabric like this. I'll trim out all the excesses just to take the shape of my front pattern, and that's it. And from this angle, I'll just create a curve. Okay, then I can cut out. The next thing is to pick 2 pieces of the fabric and place it behind the front pattern. Then I can cut out the pocket opening. Make sure to pin so that everything will still be aligned. Now here I'll come in by 1 inch, and on this side I'll come down by 6.5. That will be for the pocket opening. Then I'll be using my curve ruler to connect the 2 dots. Now I can cut out. So for my pocket, I have the exact shape here. So that's basically it for all the cutting. Now the next thing we are going to do is the sewing. So watch out for my next video on how to sew everything together. Thank you for watching. So check out for the part 2. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Comment if you have any questions. I'm here to answer.